Assalamu alaikum, guys. I hope you are doing fine in this pandemic. So, many of you have told me to narrate the stories. I promote the reading habit, but I am just giving it a trial to narrate the story. So, I brought the story of the Fantastic Four, the movie. So, let's begin the story. The story begins when a guy named Mr. Fantastic and his friend named Ben were working on a project and they need a sponsorship for it. Every project needs to be sponsored. So they went to a company who was investing on them and told about their future work. The boss was a school friend and he was trying to do an experiment in space. His name was Dr. Doom, the owner or the boss. He knows that that Mr. Fantastic, he will be going to achieve it. In their team, there was a girl who was the ex-girlfriend of Mr. Fantastic, named Suzanne Storm. She was also in the mission, and when Ben said that he would do the pilot job, and he was in the Air Force also, but she told him that John, her brother, is doing that work. He always humiliated Ben, and that is the reason Ben did not wanted him at the space station. Well, he could not do anything about it. They went into the space, and when Ben was working outside the station, Mr. Fantastic was watching for the solar wind, and according to his estimation, it was 7 hours away. But suddenly it came too closer that it was only few minutes away, and Ben was still outside. He informed his friend who was trying to propose his ex and went for the John and told him to get Ben back as solar wind is going to hit. Ben didn't thought that he would make it, but he did, and he fell unconsciously. When he woke up, he found himself in the hospital at Earth. John told him that doctor tried to do many plastic surgeries, but they didn't succeed. Oh. And please don't get scared after watching your face. When Ben watched in the mirror, he came to know that John is making fun of him. When John itself went for the temperature checkup, it increased above 300 kelvins, but he didn't knew about it. He went with the nurse for ice skating. Here he got on fire and tried to fly with it, but could not. Then he returned back to the center where they were staying and told his friends. Ben called Mr. Fantastic and Suzanne for the dinner, and at dinner he went to his room, saying he is not feeling well. And here the powers of Mr. Fantastic and the Suzanne revealed. The Suzanne could become invisible, and Mr. Fantastic could stretch his hands. Oh, wonderful! They went for the band to know what happened to them, but he was not in his room and ran out of there, and there was a destroyed wall from where he went out. He went to her wife and called her to come out, as she was waiting for him to come home from many days. And when she saw him, she ran away and called 911. Ben became a rockman. No, not a really rockman like Dwayne Johnson, but actually a man of rock. The next day, when he was sitting at a bridge, a man came to suicide. When he saw him, he got scared and tried to back off and fell on the road. On the other side, the truck was coming. He saved him, but himself got into a big trouble. Police surrounded him, and when he was on TV, his friends appeared, but the police didn't let them go ahead. So they used their powers. Ben saved a fire truck falling off from the bridge, and Mr. Fantastic saved a man from falling into the sea. Their powers got revealed to the people, and they got a name from the people, the Fantastic Four. Here the real story begins. On the other side, his friend, their boss, the Dr. Doom, as he was also affected by the solar wind, became a steel man, and he could consume electric power from anything, means electric power supplies and any other thing. They went to lab to test what has happened to them, where they came to know that solar wind has made changes in their DNA. Mr. Fantastic got busy in making the machine, while John didn't want to get back to normal, as he thought that these powers are cool. But Ben wanted his body back. I mean, if you became a rock man and nobody loves you, then you would like to become normal. John said to Mr. Fantastic that their clothes got burned, so do something for our clothes too. When he researched on the clothes which were given by their organization, they also had the same changes like their bodies, so they can use them for